we got ourselves some spicy anime takes. Gigguk's reactions to a little bit of this hot anime take. Give it to me.
OG Naruto is almost utter. Starting with Luds, who
Yeah.
says, rewatching OG Naruto is almost utter unbearable with how outdated it looks and how slow it is paced.
How outdated it looks. I feel like there's some sort of timeless classic animation style in OG Naruto that wouldn't make me complain about it, because even if it's outdated, the fluidity in the movements are so good, right? Like, yeah. Like the art style, I guess the composition, right? The colors and everything. It looks kind of like more flat compared to, I guess, more like modern anime. But is it that bad? Like the old animation, I think the art style is perfectly fine. But the pacing, I do agree. Old shonen pacing, this is just an absolute fact, where you just have this meta of, rather than doing seasonal batches of anime, like the modern shonen does, like JJK or My Hero Academia, focusing on 12 episodes, concise, multiple chapters in one episode to really make the pacing good. You're stretching out hundreds and hundreds of chapters, right, into like these episodes where you're basically covering like one episode per chapter. I agree with the pacing.
How are we feeling about this one? How are we feeling about this one? Cold, sizzling, cooking, hot, or nuclear?
That's not even like that hot take, right? I think that's that's pretty much like the baseline take that everyone has, that it's too slow. The pacing is garbage and people complain about the fillers. But I argue about the art style. I think the art style is perfectly fine.
All right. So I am going to say this is sizzling. It's not the worst take in the world. It's not the worst take. It's not the hottest take in the world, but he does have a point that I do agree to, but he has some points that I don't agree with as well. The point I don't agree with is that it's fucking unbearable, because I think that OG Naruto still is fantastic.
I don't even know about this because I haven't rewatched OG Naruto. I watched Naruto growing up as a kid, and to be honest, if I watched it again, maybe I'd have a totally different opinion.
Difference between OG Naruto and, let's say he said One Piece, because if he said One Piece, I would actually say I low-key agree, and he's actually cooking. But the big difference between OG Naruto and One Piece is how they handle filler. And
Naruto does better filler than One Piece, in my opinion. Naruto fillers are great because this allows the actual canon episodes to be concise and be way more content filled than One Piece.
The great thing about OG Naruto is that you can just skip the filler episodes. It's fine. We're no longer watching this weekly. All right, no one's telling you that you have to watch 100% OG Naruto. You can just skip the filler. But with One Piece, it's so much harder to skip the filler because it is baked into the episodes. How outdated it looks.
Baked into the episodes. As in, like, Naruto will have only filler episodes. The entire episode is a filler episode. One Piece will make it such that, hey, this episode here is going to have 20% canon and 80% filler. And now you can't just skip the episodes and you don't even know exactly what you're watching.
Let's just say, when Naruto goes hard, it still goes hard. There is nothing dated about Rock Lee versus Gaara, Sasuke versus Orochimaru, Naruto versus Sasuke. Okay? Some other fights? All right, maybe a bit. But I don't think this is an OG Naruto problem. I think this is a Studio Pierrot problem, because I can replace Naruto with so many ones of their adaptation, okay? Because the most recent example I can think of, and I say this as a fan of this title, Black Clover. Black Clover was also done by Studio Pierrot. The reason I became a manga reader was because, similarly with Naruto, you will have these fucking 10 out of 10 episodes, these 9, 10 out of 10 episodes with amazing animation.
Amazing,
like
huh?
The studio poured all their time and energy.
Get hyped for Kaka TV3, guys. It's coming. The Battle Shonen channel is coming. No promises, but if there is a third channel coming, it will be a Battle Shonen channel where we lead in with Black Clover.
into like 1 or 2 fights every 20 to 25 episodes. And then the rest of those 20 episodes are just like basic bare bones 6 out of 10 animation. It's not the worst animation in the world. It's just like passable animation. And I think that was just the trade-off that you had with long-running weekly series.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I think that seasonal anime just works so much better with something
way better, right? JJK MHA, just name all these new modern, like even Demon Slayer, right? This new structure is so much fucking better. The old, outdated structure of trying to cover hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes, but it just being so much of a fucking nothing burger, it is so outdated. We need to move away from that.
like My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Like, I wonder what the One Piece remake will do. Because which studio's gonna redo One Piece? And I guess it's just gonna be way more concise.
Demon Slayer. Instead of number 1, adding filler to it, or number 2, having your resources put into just 1 or 2 fights, and have the rest of them be, you know, oh, thank you, honey. Oh, that's why you're the greatest wife ever.
Honey, I know
Oh.
I know.
Thank you, hon. Yeah, my wife. That's my wife. She got me coffee and I didn't even ask for it. She
Flex.
went to Starbucks. Oh,
Nice.
Where was I? Yeah, when you pour all of your resources.
Also, the most viewed part. Ain't nobody give a fuck about Gigguk's take about Naruto. Just look at the engagement bar. Look how flat the entire video is. And there's just one part that it peaks, and it's when his wife shows up for the coffee. How kind.
Into 1 or 2 episodes, the other episodes are going to suffer. And the big difference is with seasonal anime, you have a lot more uniformity in terms of the quality of the animation and the quality of the execution of every single episode in that season.
Way
I
better
would
that
say
way.
There are parts of this I agree with.
Some people complain about how, but if it's seasonal, then we don't get anime every week. Guess what, bro? It might be better that way. Like, I remember recently when One Piece the anime went on hiatus. I'm not exactly sure if it's still on hiatus or not. It still might be. I haven't been following One Piece anime news at all. But when they go on hiatus, it means that the next couple episodes coming back, it's going to be so much better. The quality is going to be there. Would you rather watch these episodes week by week where you're basically just getting 30% of actual content and the 70% is just stretched, shitty pacing, a bunch of nothing burgers? No, it's painful to watch. I'd rather go on vacation, literally just watch other stuff and enjoy my life outside of the specific stuff I'm watching. And when it comes back, every episode is gonna fucking hit. It's gonna matter. It's gonna be impactful. That's way better to me. But some people, they just constantly need that drip feeding of mid because they just got nothing better to do.
The big part I disagree with is that it's unfucking bearable. OG Naruto is great because I miss the times when strategy seemed to play a bigger factor and power scaling was.
Yeah. When strategy mattered in fights, rather than who has the bigger fucking chakra bomb attack.
A bit more toned down than it is in Shippuden, which I think just has a totally different feel to it. And I miss that feel of Naruto, man. I miss that feel of OG Naruto versus some of the shit that was happening in Shippuden, where one ninja could just solo 200 guys at once.
But that one ninja being Uchiha Madara soloing 200 ninjas at once creates these highlight reels that people still talk about. You know, that great ninja war where Madara just goes off. People love that shit. Yeah, the power scaling gets fucking out of hand, but still, it is just an incredible feat of power, and people love that shit. It's peak power fantasy.
Or something like that. And that's why I think Naruto, OG Naruto, is still worth
To me, the difference between OG Naruto and Naruto Shippuden is less about like the scale of the fights, even though what Gigguk says is true, but rather the themes and like the story of what it's trying to portray. I feel like in the beginning, it was all about you are not beholden to your destiny. Just because you are born into this doesn't mean that your fate is already determined. And a big component of that had to do with Rock Lee versus Gaara and the Hyuga clan. Remember how Rock Lee worked so fucking hard? He was no chakra dude that only focused on taijutsu, right? He had no like genjutsu, he had no ninjutsu, only taijutsu. And he kind of was like that pinnacle of, even if you are like a nobody, that if you put your fucking work in, you can be somebody. Now, there is a bit of a contradiction here when Kakashi basically confirms that when Rock Lee was opening all the 8 gates in the tuning exams, Kakashi basically confirmed this is no random person. He is a genius in his own way. The fact that he was able to grind like this. So there is a bit of like a contradiction there about like a nobody. But there's also that theme with Naruto as well, where Naruto basically, what is it? Like, he, in the beginning, right, always had that tailed beast in there, but he always kept trying. And even if people called him a loser, because remember, in the beginning, he really was a loser. He couldn't pass his tests over and over again, right? And later on, as he learns, you know, the forbidden jutsu and gets that, like, you know, the shadow clone jutsu, and he continues to grind forward with Sasuke still leading, there's a moment in the Chunin exam where he fights Neji. And the Hyuga clan, you know, there's a bunch of drama there with Neji and how Neji's always talking about this is destiny. This is destiny. Even though I am born into like these side brands in the Hyuga clan and Hinata is the main branch, I'm still better. I am the one. This is my destiny. And Naruto proves him wrong, right? Naruto, like, there's a huge moment where he kind of like proves him wrong that like, fuck destiny. You pave your own path. Fuck all this chosen one bullshit. And then all of that shit, it just gets thrown out. None of that shit matters. It just, boom, dumped out the water and put in. It's just like, well, actually, Naruto and Sasuke are like these descendants off of these like crazy like ninja alien beings, and they were really the chosen ones from all along, and this is all fate. And a part of me is like, that kind of sucks, bud. It is what it is.
Be watching, just skip through the filler and you can get there. But also, you can just read the manga as well, which if you want a more perfectly paced story. So Lud was sizzling with that.
I think this take is actually very good. Now, I disagree with the how it looks, and fucking unbearable is a bit much, but how slow it is paced is true. But the pacing, again, I think is still better compared to One Piece, because what Gigguk said, the filler are not baked into it. You can skip the episodes if you want, and OG Naruto to me is a timeless classic. Please check out SleepyClips, the channel here of interest. Go give the video a like. Boom, boom, boom. Go support their channel. They always been farming these Gigguk clips. That's so fun to watch. See you next time.